Hi there, my name's David and I make content related to reselling on various platforms such as Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, and Depop. And today I have a haul from a couple of thrift stores that I went to that I wanted to share with you guys. These are great videos to see what I'm sourcing, my rationale behind it, to give you an idea of what you may want to look for when you're sourcing. If you like content related to reselling, then you can like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anyone else that you think might be into this kind of content. Let's go ahead and get started. So here I have a pair of Madewell jeans. I've been kind of cooling off a bit on Madewell, but I thought that these were really nice. They're sort of a just off-white kind of cream color. They have a little bit of a speckle on them, and they are a slim sort of straight leg. I'm trying to stay away from skinny. These are the perfect vintage jean, size 27. I was surprised that the Goodwill I was at hadn't marked these up. They've been lately putting Madewell all in their boutique section at like anywhere from $12.99 to like $20. But I did notice that this time they had a bunch of Madewell and Anthropologie type stuff out with the regular clothes, and also that their boutique section had looked a lot more sparse. So I'm wondering if perhaps they're coming around to a little bit, that maybe people don't want to pay quite that much for mall brands, and they're now mixing it out onto the floor if it doesn't sell in a couple of weeks, which I think would probably be a smart idea. But these are a great jean. I think they will do well. I'll probably list them at about $45 to $50. They cost me $6.99. The next item here is a pair of Levi's, and these are the wedgie straight jean in a size 30. A great sort of basic pant. They have a little bit of distressing here at the knee and also raw edges. I'm cooling off a bit on my purchase of Levi's as well, but this seems to be a consistent seller, so I will continue to pick it up if it's in good shape, good condition. Those also cost $6.99. The next item here is a cool sort of style pickup that I selected. This brand doesn't seem to have very many comps. If it does, they were a little bit on the cheaper side. But retail side for it is actually pretty expensive. It appears to be a foreign brand, Anna Holtblad Stockholm. It's a size medium, and it is this crochet detail, macrame. These are all keywords that I'll probably put on the listing. Skirt. Another keyword I'm going to try, granola girl. Apparently that's one of the ones you can use for these type of groovy items. And it has this cool sort of open knit detail and an asymmetrical hem. That cost me about $5.99. I think it'll do well on Depop. The next item here is a pair of pants by Polo Ralph Lauren. Very well known brand. But these I thought were pretty unique because they are a wool blend and they are also cargo pants. So they were in the boutique section for $14.99, but I think I could probably get about anywhere from $60 to $80 for these. So I thought they were a worthwhile investment. We'll see. I'm excited that today I actually have a couple of designer pieces that I think you guys will be really impressed with. This one, let me show you the label. It's Gucci. It says Duke, which I believe is sort of the fit of the shirt. And I could also see some detail on here that said Chris Knight, which is apparently the artist whose artwork you can see on this shirt. It is a bit wrinkled, of course I will steam it. I did actually pay up for this item. I paid $50. It was in the boutique section. After I took a good look at it to make sure that it is high quality and in excellent condition, which it is. Aside from being wrinkled, it still has this sort of collar stay here that It has when you buy it new. And I did see that this exact same shirt recently sold on the RealReal for $275. And I saw a couple of other comps on Tradesy, on eBay that also sold in about the $300 range. So I get the feeling that I could probably get that. I may also be tempted to just send it into the RealReal. I would still make probably double. If it sells for $300, then I would make double of what I paid for it, which is enough for me. But beautiful sort of floral shirt by Gucci. I believe it's from 2015. So that was a nice find. Whenever you pay up for an item, absolutely do your research first. Here we have another luxury item that is also sold on the RealReal. This is a sort of traditional Mexican style blouse, and the label, it is Mi Golondrina. And it appears to be a sort of cotton linen blend. It has beautiful embroidery throughout and these beautiful sort of bell sleeves. And a little detail here, it's a cute little embroidered bird. A tiny little spot right there. I may try to stain treat it or just sell it as is. But these retail for about $300. Anywhere from like $225 to $275. They don't resell for as much. The RealReal prices them for about $50 to $80, but I'm confident that I could probably sell it on my own for about $75. Only issue is it doesn't have the size tag, so I will have to take measurements and provide that in my listing. I don't know if you'd consider this to be a designer find, but it's definitely one that most resellers love finding in the wild. And it is Johnny Was. This is one of the older labels. And has gorgeous embroidery all over it. Every single inch of this shirt is embroidered. So naturally you can imagine that means there's tiny little snags here and there throughout. I went through it a little bit with a pin in order to flatten out some of the snags, but of course I'll make sure to list that in my listing. It is a size large. It's in great shape. Oddly enough, they did not have this priced up at Goodwill. Perhaps they missed it. This is an older label, so maybe they didn't recognize it. But I'm sure I could get at the very least anywhere from $50 to $80 on this. Here we have a turtleneck sweatshirt. And I'll tell you that it's Champion, but take a look at the logo. It's a bit different, isn't it? The reason being, because it is a collaboration. And it is between Champion and Todd Snyder, which is a sort of upscale label. I don't know if I'd necessarily call it designer, but it definitely ups the value of this piece. I think it just needs probably a wash, but it's in great condition. It's a size medium. I would probably list this anywhere from $40 to $75. The comps seem to do pretty well for this collaboration. And it was orange tag, so it must have cost me about $6.99. Here I have an Eli Tahari. It's going to be hard to see this one just because it's on a tiny little metal plate. But Eli Tahari blazer. This particular style, which I could tell from Google Lens, is the Jezebel blazer. And it has a cool sort of geometric print. It's a great size. It's a size 12. And typically I don't buy a lot of Eli Tahari just because a lot of it's like a pretty accessible brand. It retails for a lot, but it doesn't resell for a lot. But this one had very good comps. I saw comparable ones listed on Poshmark for about $200. I'm probably going to list this myself at about $75 or $80. But I'm confident that at some point it will turn around. It has a great sort of structured shape. I think it'll do well. And it cost me $9.99. This label I love, and I do really well with. Most resellers do. It is Eileen Fisher. This is a size large, and it is a organic cotton blend, sort of structured motorcycle jacket. I'm usually able to sell Eileen Fisher for a pretty good turnaround. This likely cost me about $9.99. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm able to sell this for anywhere from 60 to 80. Especially in larger sizes, Eileen Fisher does really, really well. And especially when they have very substantial pieces, or if you find anything with cashmere, organic cotton, linen, silk, those do really well as well. Here I have a men's sportwear piece. And this one, there is no hang tag. That should be a clue as to what it is. Let me see if I could find the other clue. Here it is. Let me hide my giant face. Lululemon. It is men's. Thankfully, this is an item with a size dot. This says XL. I hate having to provide measurements because I always end up with someone trying to open a case or something and saying this is not the promised size, but I do provide measurements, and I also provide a screenshot of the size chart from Lululemon. But I think a lot of people underestimate that when you're buying Lululemon, it's usually very slim fitted. So in Lululemon, I'm probably like an extra large, even though in most clothing I'd be anywhere from a medium to a large. But it's a great sort of men's track jacket, great material, which we can expect from Lululemon. It cost me $12 full price, but I was happy to pay that. I'm confident that I could probably sell this for 75 to 80 as well. This item was an absolute steal. It is this girl's puffer jacket. And it's this really light pink and has this bow detail here. A tiny little mark here that I'm confident I could probably stain treat. But let me get that label for you. It is Kate Spade. And it is a size 128/8 youth. The only issue is that it should come with a hood, but it doesn't have the hood. But I will just disclose that. I still think that it would look really nice even without the hood. This cost me about $4.99 because all kids' jackets cost about that much, and I'm confident that I could probably sell it for about $45 to $70 on the high end. I usually don't spend that much time in the kids section just because kids' clothes, a lot of people don't want to pay for shipping on something simple like a t-shirt or a pair of jeans. But the outerwear, you definitely do want to take a look at just because it's usually priced very economically. And if you could find things that are quality or designer, then it's definitely worth picking up. The designer finds don't stop. This one, however, doesn't resell for a ton unless you find very specific styles. This one, it's a wrap dress. That's a hint for you. A designer famous for wrap dresses. Diane von Furstenberg. It's a size 4. It has a beautiful sort of floral pattern. It does have one or two marks here that I'm going to attempt to stain treat, but it is a wrap dress. The comps for this dress, which I just Google lensed it, were very good. They were anywhere from about $60 to $120. So I'm excited to see how this one does. Admittedly, I have 3 wrap dresses by Diane von Furstenberg, and they all have stains on them, and I've been putting off not listing them because of that. I really need to get in gear with that. But the dress itself cost $7.99. This is a new brand to me. It is Rising International, which apparently they make a bunch of clothes, bags, accessories that are all with this sort of motif, very sort of groovy, funky, a lot of embroidery, very flower child, very 70s, very grunge. And this is a size 1XL, which I feel like it's a little small for that, but I will take measurements of this item. And I've heard from Ryan on the Jack Valentine channel that this brand does really well and that some dresses could sell for a lot of money. So I'm very curious to see how it will be. This was half off at the Salvation Army thrift store, so it was $6.99 regular price. That means I paid $3.50. And here I have a beautiful rainbow dress. It is a long dress. It is a maxi dress. And it has this very open back detail. And it is by Mara Hoffman. It's a size 4. Looks like it was just dry cleaned. It's in excellent condition. And this brand's dresses retail for about $200, $250. I have another dress by this brand that has been sitting for a few months, but I think considering the style, the color, and everything on this one, it should sell for anywhere between $50 and $75. Here I have a sort of fun item that I bought for myself. It is
Ho ho ho!
Santa Claus on a hanger. It was $2. I couldn't resist. And it's sort of like vintage and quiche. And it's so that when you put a blazer or a shirt or anything over it, it looks like Santa's wearing it. I figured that this would probably be great for my Poshmark and my eBay store to kind of draw a little bit more attention to my listings. I'm definitely going to keep this one. I think it's cool. The designer items don't stop there. I have 3 belts that are all designer. Do not skip the belt section. That's another great piece of advice. A lot of thrift stores will typically price belts at anywhere from $1 to $3 to $5. And depending on what the belt is, it could definitely be worth something. And a lot of people overlook belts, so definitely don't skip that. The first belt I have is a sort of simple black leather belt with a giant covered buckle. It is by... It's hard to see it there, but it's embossed. It is Coach. It's vintage, it's a size medium, and it's in excellent condition. I could probably list that anywhere from $20 to $40. And I find vintage Coach belts all the time. The next belt I have, but I initially thought it was nothing special. It has a cool sort of decorative buckle. And with this little sort of fringe detail. And it's a nice real leather. But when you take a close look at the detail on the buckle, let me see if I can... It's going to be very hard to see, but up there it says Italy, and on the bottom, it says MCM, which is a designer label and sells for a lot. I'm not sure what I would price this at. I'm going to have to do my research on it. I may also try to send this into the real just because I paid $2 for it. There really isn't a lot of opportunity for me to lose out on that. And also just because MCM is more so known for their belts with logos and the giant M buckle. So this might potentially sit around a bit, even though it is really, really cool. This was absolutely exciting to find. I couldn't believe it when I first saw it. It is a Moschino belt. I couldn't believe it when I saw it, and then I was like, oh, it has to be fake, but no, this is really high quality leather. It's a sort of brown leather on the inside, suede, and on the outside it is this black patent leather, and there's oddly enough no sort of cracking or real creasing. The letters are all there, so I was like, oh no, it's definitely going to be missing some letters, but the letters are all present and accounted for, and they all have this red wall, which is, I'm not sure how to really describe it. Redwall is sort of like one of their suppliers that they use on all of their leather goods. I've seen it before. It does say Moschino here. The tag size says 40, all genuine leather. And all of the letters on the back all also state Redwall and made in Italy. So this is a really cool find. I've always wanted one of these belts. Of course, this is a super tiny, but $2, you can't beat that. Don't sleep on the belt section. That is actually the end of my haul. So thank you so much for viewing this video. Again, if you like reselling content, if you want to know different tips or tricks that I may have about sourcing, about pricing, please make sure to comment below. Apart from that, also like, subscribe, or share this video with anyone who you think might be interested in this kind of content. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing sales week. little bonus content here if anyone wants to see my earrings. Here's a little lightning bolt. Here's a little Pikachu to match the shirt. See ya.